folks, getting ready to get on the water, not to do some fishing, but to get out and do a little bit of testing. And what I'm showing today is the difference in speed and range between these two props. This is the standard one that the Ultralight 1103 comes with, and it generally gets better top end speeds. And then this is the Weedless prop. It's product number 1972-00. The reason why I've been using this one recently is that it's weedless design, really chops through the grass very well, but also it has a wider base at the attachment here, which makes it a more durable prop in terms of when you do hit things, whether it's stumps or rocks, you have less of a likelihood of this happening. This is a standard prop that I damaged fishing shallow on the Susquehanna River, and I hit rocks, and that's sort of to be expected. These propellers, you can break them, and for that reason I would say that everyone should have a spare prop and carry with them. I have this is a 17 millimeter deep socket on a ratchet, and I keep this with me in the boat with a spare prop. So that, along with a little can of WD-40 for your connections in the battery and the data cable, you have those things, and you're going to be able to take care of most issues that would arise. But I'm going to go ahead and get this boat on the water to get test data, and I'll compare the Weedless prop speed and range data with the standard prop, which I got earlier this year. Before we get out though, I do want to talk about a couple things related to how you can get the most out of your whatever prop you have on there in terms of making adjustments. Let's take a closer look at the motor and the different ring clamps and steering triangle, and we'll talk about that next. So we have a number of different pieces on the pipe here that leads down to the motor pylon, and they all have different functions. This ring clamp here right above the profile keeps the profile down snug tight to the motor head. This next one is the pivot drum that kicks up when you hit objects. It just tilts up. This next one is the steering triangle, and this is what is connected to my foot pedals so I can steer the boat. It also functions in this position as something that sets the depth of the propeller, and then this top one is just for the motor lift bar, so that when I'm pulling on that motor lift at the front, that it lifts. As high as you can get that is going to make lifting that a little bit easier. The two adjustments that are going to make the biggest impact on your speed and range, and really optimizing those two, are how deep you have the propeller. This propeller is very good at not ventilating or not sucking air down to it. That being said, you need about, when you're fully loaded, about 2 inches from the tip of the propeller to the water line to give it the best performance. Now, when you're in really choppy water where the boat is pitching like this as it's rolling over either boat wakes or wind-driven waves, you're going to want it deeper. That was the case last week when Marty Mood and I covered 41.8 miles out on the Chesapeake Bay. I made that adjustment to the steering triangle to let the motor lower. Conversely, when I'm on the Susquehanna River and it's a very shallow water fishery and I'm trying to keep this up as much as possible, I will lift this up and adjust the steering triangle down to keep it as shallow as possible. So motor depth is probably the most important in terms of optimizing that speed and range, having it at the optimal depth. The second thing that you can make an adjustment to that helps out with the performance is this trim adjustment pin. It's also the same pin that the reverse lock, the teeth lock down onto, but I have it in the second pin back. The reason for that is if the boat is flat like this, I actually want the motor back at a slight angle so that when you have stern squat, that pipe at full speed is straight up and down. That's going to give you your best top end speed. Let's go ahead and get it out on the water and see what this weedless prop does in comparison to the standard. So our wind forecast is certainly picking up later today, and we got a little breeze out in the main lake. I don't like testing on windy days, but we do have a cove right here with some nice clean glassy water. There's our clean lane of where the wind's not affecting it at all, and we're going to go ahead and stomp it. I will say that I scoot forward as much as I can in the boat to get the best top end speed. So mile per hour, it's not what I expected, but that is what we're getting. And I'm actually, now that I'm out here, I'm actually going into the wind. So it's settled at 7.4 with 13 watts. I didn't expect that at all. I think initially I was told that that the weedless prop would be less efficient. That certainly said otherwise, so that's exciting. 7.4. You know, I've been using it and haven't really paid attention because I've just been fishing and doing other things. This prop was part of what we did, that 41.8 mile trip on the bay. Maybe that had something to do with it, but 7.4 mile per hour is the fastest I've been in this boat, so that's good. Maybe the weedless prop should be the standard. We'll see. All right, I'm gonna get the rest of the speed and range data, and you know, we'll see how it plays out, and we'll compare them side by side with each mile per hour. All right, got all the data I need with the weedless prop. Time to have fun tearing it up and get that filler footage of, you know, just background screen, so I can put up those numbers and you can check them out. I'm really happy that weedless prop is not only more durable, but it's fast. Faster. It's good. All right, it's been an interesting day of testing out here on Lake Marburg with the weedless prop Torqeedo item number 1972-00. Happy to see we got better speeds out of it. The original reason I was recommending it as a spare and just to have another option is because it was more durable. And you know, testing speed and range is one thing, but the application of more durable in shallow water fisheries is really the first thing I was most interested in. And my experience with the standard prop has been, when you hit shallow water obstructions with it, this is the result. Right at the end of the day today's testing, I did one last test, and I didn't film it because it was violent and maybe a little foolish, but I wanted to do it anyways, just to show with a brand new 1972 prop. I ran at full speed into the concrete ramp, 7 mile an hour plus, and this is the result. So you can see that it's intact. I have one pretty good nick there, you know, but that's still certainly a usable prop. A little chewed up here on the edge, and this one showing a little bit of wear. And the one I've been using before putting this brand new one on today certainly looks chewed up, but it's intact and it's functional and it's good to go. So faster, more durable, better with weeds. It's a good option. Now, just to be super thorough, I'm not going to rely on old data with the standard prop. I've gone ahead and put that one back on. It's a nice, fresh, clean one, and we'll make sure that we're getting, you know, comparable data on two different props on the same day, same conditions, and the wind isn't up yet. It is on the main lake, but it's not bad, and this cove is still looking good and glassy. Let's go test. So I was about to call it a day, happy with the data that I got on the weedless prop, and then I thought, I'm not really being fair to the standard prop, which I tested when it was still cold out. I was wearing more gear. There was more weight in the boat because I was wearing more gear, although I had the same amount of, like, I'd taken all my fishing gear out of here. I wanted everything to be the same. Same trim adjustment, same motor depth, same everything, same day, same conditions. And we got the standard prop on there, and we still got our lane of nice calm water here for the time being. Let's mash it. I'm gonna scoot forward like I do. So 7.1, 7.2, consistently, yeah, it's wavering back and forth between 7.1 and 7.2. You know, that's pretty much what I got. It's a little bit better. It's a little bit more settled on 7.2 than it was, and that could be the weight difference in the gear that I'm wearing today, as opposed to, you know, maybe 30 pounds of gear less today when it's warm out than compared to when I was out in cold weather and I had my boots and my bibs and just more clothing. So 7.2 miles per hour. It still shows that the weedless prop is the faster one. I'll go ahead and get the rest of the data and put it up right next to it, and we'll compare them prop for prop, same conditions, same day.